Hello family, this is African Esquire TV. I'm your host Tani Cherie, and I'm coming to you with different topics from around the African diaspora and on the continent of Africa, of course. And the country that I want to focus on now is South Africa. So our favorite conglomerate of Africans who have been very vocal against white supremacy in the country of South Africa, or more appropriately Azania, has been the EFF. Now, there were violent clashes in South Africa school after students organized a whites-only party in South Africa. Just the boldness of organizing a whites-only party in a majority black country is so funny. Members of South Africa's Economic Freedom Fighters, a political party, were attacked by white parents and residents outside of the Brackenfell High School in Cape Town on Monday during a protest over a whites-only party that was reportedly organized by some students of the school.
What the fuck are you doing? You're on your
Don't touch me.
According to News 24, protesters gathered at the school demanding the suspension of 2 teachers who attended the party. And some reports on social media allege that black students were invited to the graduation. So this is not a school that's an all-white school. This is a school with Africans attending it. Tensions, however, flared up as videos on social media showed that a group of white people, allegedly parents and some students, started attacking the demonstrators and demanded they leave the school premise while hurling insults at them. That was what was stated by the Associated Press. Following the disturbances, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa released a statement on Tuesday condemning the violence. He also called for the school, which has not had a black teacher since 1994, to be investigated amid racism allegations. I'm gonna pause that right here and say, if you're sending your children to a school as an African where there has not been a black teacher since 1994, and about 90% of your population is African, you might want to consider different schools, because at this point, what type of education do you think your child's going to be getting? They're not going to be getting for a curriculum that's going to teach them the appropriate way to go through African history. They're not going to be getting a curriculum that's going to challenge them as Africans to do something for their people. More than likely, they're going to be given the colonial subject curriculum. So just a thought for the black students who are horribly going to the school. But it says the EFF were protesting against alleged racism at the school. It has every right. This is what the president, Cyril Ramaphosa, said. It is the right of every South African to engage in peaceful protest, and any actions to suppress the right to freedom of expression, particularly through violence and intimidation, must be roundly condemned. What happened today brings back hurtful memories of a past that we should never seek to return to. So the EFF said that their protests were peaceful, and they were attacked by armed white racists. They said that it should be further noted that since 1994, there has never been a single black teacher, as we said, which reveals how entrenched racism is at this school. The statement added, the attacks at Brackenfell are yet another confirmation that racists are emboldened under the current regime. Okay, that's a very fiery allegation. It confirms our long-held belief that peace without justice is futile, and that as a nation, we have forgiven people who have no remorse for the oppression they subjected our people to. And that goes to the heart of the issue. If you know anything about the history of South Africa, and a horrible event, in my opinion, now I've heard a lot of arguments supporting this event, but in my opinion, it's a very horrible idea that there is a Truth and Reconciliation Commission. Essentially, during apartheid, Africans were killed in all types of ways, like brutal ways. When I say brutal, like not what you would be normally hear. Things like kidnapping children and just killing them and then setting their body on fire so that they can never be found. I think there was one story I believe I read about a group of children who were actually killed in a similar type of way. Like there's just mass killings going on during apartheid. Now, these were acts of genocide. Let's be very clear. But was the response one that was similar to the response after World War II, whenever the Nazis lost? No, whenever the government was transitioning to representative of the African people, they decided to have something called a Truth and Reconciliation Commission, meaning we're all going to tell the truth. We're all going to say what we did. And if we say what we did and we actually confess everything, then we can't be charged with our crimes under apartheid. Only with African people, y'all. Only with us. Like, you would never see something like that. You would never see something that affected Europeans, where the Europeans said, hey, just tell the truth and we'll forgive everything that you've done. We can move forward. Only with Africans. But this is very true, that you see right here with things like this. You can have a Truth and Reconciliation Commission, but you're dealing with a people who are not remorseful. A lot of them celebrate the things that were done in South Africa. In fact, let's think about the fact that the Rhodes Scholarship is something that's still something that a lot of people are proud of all around the world if they are accepted into that program. A lot of people have not come to the point of actually saying, we wish we were never colonized. A lot of people in their head, they think that they received some benefit from this. That's on our side. And then, of course, the Europeans obviously did receive a benefit from this because we're still living under colonial rule up until this day. So they said that our laws are determined and law officials are bullied by white racists who have decided that there is no black government or black authority that can threaten their grip on sections of our society. That was what the EFF said. So what do I think about this? Well, again, it's always something that for me, whenever I see the EFF out there protesting, I might not necessarily agree with the nature of the protest, meaning I'm not a fan of protesting things that are never going to go away, such as white people doing racist things like a whites only party. I'm more interested in protesting things that could actually have an effect, because I don't expect white people to stop being racist, but I would expect that something like what the EFS has been protesting with land appropriation without compensation, I think that that's going to go a much larger way. It's like impact litigation versus having individual cases. But I do understand having these types of protests, because it does become a rallying force for the people, and more importantly, it exposes the racist elements that are still very much alive inside of South Africa, although the media tries to paint it like South Africa is just this nice place and there's no issues of racism. So that's why I think that they probably do make sure to continue to out the racist. That's really what this did. I mean, we seeing what happened with the campaign, obviously with the ad that was posted in South Africa that was racist and showed African hair as being something that's not desirable. A lot of people were able to see, okay, this is what y'all really think of us. And similarly, we see right here that a school administration where teachers attended a whites only party. That's something that's happening in 2020 in South Africa. Y'all should stop talking about this being this post-racial society and actually deal with the fact that it's very much a racist and entrenched in racist society. So that's what I think is the goal out of that, and I think it was successful. So that's all I have on this story. What are your guys' thoughts? I will see you in the next video.
Sola.